Oh, hello there. I'm Bilchan.
I'm Nimikung.
I'm Banchan.
In this class, I'll read to all of you Chapter 8, Section 3 of The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes.
S.
Ah.
The Adventures of Sherlock Holmes. Author Conan Doyle. Chapter 8, Section 3. Thorough. I will go when I have had my say. To meddle with my affairs. I know that Miss Stoner has been here. I traced her. I am a dangerous man to fall foul of. Here, he stepped swiftly forward. Seized the poker. Curved with his huge brown hands. He snarled. The room. He seems a very amiable person, said Holmes. Fine. Not quite so bulky. Picked up the steel poker and, with a sudden effort, fancy his having the insolence to confound me with the official detective force. This incident gives zest to our investigation. However, and now, Watson, we shall order breakfast. Shall walk down to Dr. Cummins. Returned from his excursion. He held in his hand a sheet of blue paper, scrawled over with notes and figures. Wife, said he, out the present prices of the investments with which it is concerned. Income 1,100 is now, through the fallen agricultural prices, 750. Each daughter can claim an income of 250. Of marriage, it is evident, therefore, that if both girls had married, this beauty would have had a mere pittance, would couple into a very serious extent. We stated, in the way of anything of the sort. And now, Watson, is too serious for dawdling. Are interesting ourselves in his affairs. So if you are ready, call a cab and drive to Waterloo. You would slip your revolver into your pocket. And Elise know. An excellent argument with gentlemen who can twist steel pokers into knots. A toothbrusher. I think. Train for Leatherhead. For 4 or 5 miles through the lovely Surrey lanes. Day. With a bright sun and a few fleecy clouds in the heavens. The trees and wayside hedges were just throwing out their first green shoots. The air was full of the pleasant smell of the moist earth. The sinister quest upon which we were engaged. Of the chap. His arms folded. His hat pulled down over his eyes. And his chin sunk upon his breast. Buried in the deepest thought. Suddenly, however, he started, tapped me on the shoulder. Over the meadows. Look there, said he. Gentle slope. Thickening to a grove at the highest point. Branches there jutted out the grey gables and high roof tree of a very old mansion. Stockmorn, said he. Yes. So, that be the house of Doctor Brimsby Rilot, remarked the driver. There is some building going on there, said Holmes. There is the village, said the driver. To the left. But if you want to get to the house, find it shorter to get over this stile. The fields. There it is. And the lady, I fancy. Miss Stoner, observed Holmes, shading his eyes. Yes. We got off. Ate our fare. And the trap rattled back on his way to lay the heat. Thought it as well, said Holmes as we climbed the stile. Should think we had come here as architects, or on some definite business. It may stop as gossip. Good afternoon, Miss Stoner. Morning had hurried forward to meet us with a face which spoke her joy. I have been waiting so eagerly for you, she cried. Orway. All has turned out splendidly. Doctor. Aloud has gone to town. We have had the pleasure of making the doctor's acquaintance, said Holmes. In a few words he sketched out what had occurred. To the lips as she listened. Good heavens, she cried. He has followed me. He is so cunning that I never know when I am safe from him. He must guard himself. Cunning then himself up on his track. You must lock yourself up from him tonight. If he is violent. Harrow. Anne. We must make the best use of our time. Buzzing was of grey, like in butch stone. Curving wings, like the claws of a crab, thrown out on each side. In one of these wings the windows were broken and blocked with wood boards, while the roof was partly caved in. A picture of ruin. The central portion was in little bit of repair, but the right-hand block was comparatively modern, and the blinds in the windows, the chimneys, showed that this was where the family resided, being erected against the end wall, and the stonework had been broken into. But there were no signs of any workmen at the moment of our visit. Outsides of the windows, that, I take it, which she used to sleep. The centre one to your sisters. One next to the main building to doctor. Exactly so. Pending alterations, as I understand. By the way, there were none. Ah, that is suggestive. Anne. The corridor from which these three rooms open. There are windows in it. Yes. But very small ones. As you both locked your doors at night. Your rooms were unapproachable from that side. Anne. Miss Stoner did so. And Holmes, after a careful examination through the open window, every way to force the shutter open, but without success. Slit through which a knife could pass to raise the bar. His lens he tested the hinges, but they were of solid iron, firmly into the massive masonry. Said he. Perplexity. My theory certainly presents some difficulties. If they were bolted. Well, corridor from which the 3 bedrooms opened. Holmes refused to examine the 3rd chamber, so we passed at once to the 2nd. Was now sleeping, and in which her sister had met with her fate. It was a homely little room, with a low ceiling and a gaping fireplace, after the fashion of old country houses. one corner. A narrow white counterpane bed in another. Left-hand side of the window. These articles, with two small wickerwork chairs. In the centre, brown, worm-eaten oaked. The original building of the house. Corner in Staten Island. Down, taking in every detail of the apartment. He asked at last, pointing to thick bow rope which hung down beside the bed. The tassel actually lying up on the pillow. Yes. You're distressed for it. Well, I never heard of her using it. Indeed, unnecessary to put so nice a bulb there. His face with his lens in his hand and crawled swiftly backward and forward, examining minutely cracks between the boards, woodwork with which the chamber was panelled. Down the wall, a brisk tuck. Oil. It's a dummy, said he. Well, even attached to a wire. This is very interesting. How very absurd. Very strange, muttered Holmes, playing at the rope. Very singular points about this room. For example, must be to open a ventilator into another room. And trouble. That is also quite modern, said the lady. As the bell rope, remarked Holmes. Yes. Interesting character to me, bell ropes. And ventilators which do not ventilate. With your permission, Miss Stono. Docked. Grimsby Roylott's chamber was larger than that of his stepdaughter, but was as plainly furnished. A camp bed of bricks, mostly of a technical character. An armchair beside the bed. A plain wooden chair against the wall. A round table. And safe were the principal things which met the eye, and examined each and all of them with the keenest interest. Uttered, tapping the safe. Or, you have seen inside. Only once. Some years ago. There isn't a cat in it. Oh. Well. Top of it. No. We keep a cat. All. Yes. Of course. Well. And she is just a big cat. A saucer of milk does not go very far in satisfying its wants. Dirty. Attention. Thank you. That is quite settled, said he. Lens in his pocket. Hello. A small dog lash hung on one corner of the bed. The lash, however, but good. What do you make of that? It's a coming in a flesh. Is not quite so comment. Is it? Oh. We. Wicked world. The worst of all. I think that I have seen enough now. Stona. Dark as it was when we returned from the scene of this investigation. Had walked several times up and down the lawn, liking to break in upon his thoughts before he roused himself from his reverie. Is very sensual. Miss Stoner, said he. Any hesitation? In the first place, him in astonishment. Yes. It must be so. Let me explain. Yes. Very good. You must confine yourself to your room. A headache. When your stepfather comes back for the night, you must open the shutter of your window. Atto. Put your lamp there as a signal to us to occupy. I have no doubt that, in spite of the repairs, well, yes, we shall spend the night in your room. I believe. Wiste. Holmes. Stunna. Laying her head upon my companion's sleeve. Then, for piety's sake, you can at least tell me whether my own foot is correct. Well, I do not think so. Pause. And now, Miss Stoner, we must leave you for if Doctor Aloud returned and saw us, our journey would be in vain. Goodbye, and be brave, for if you will do what I have told you, to be continued.